The same forces hitting these 17 chains simultaneously, a generation that stopped going out, prices that rose 40% in 5 years, and decades of declining quality are not going to reverse. This is not a temporary dip. This is a structural collapse. Here are the chains in freefall. 17. Boston Market. Boston Market peaked at more than 1,200 locations across the United States. Fewer than 20 remain operating as of 2026, representing a collapse of over 98% of its entire footprint, according to AOL Finance reporting. The brand went through multiple ownership changes that stripped cost and quality simultaneously. There is no comparable location loss in the history of American chain dining. Boston Market is not falling apart. It has already fallen. 16. Rubio's Coastal Grill. Rubio's practically invented the mainstream fish taco category in the United States when it launched in San Diego in 1983. In June 2024, the chain filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, citing inflation and skyrocketing seafood prices that made its core product unaffordable to produce at the price points its customer base expected. The fish taco that built the brand became the economic mechanism that ended it. The chain is restructuring under new ownership. 15. Buca di Beppo. Buca di Beppo filed for Chapter 11. Bankruptcy in August 2024, days after announcing the closure of 13 of its 57 restaurants. The Italian-American chain built its identity around oversized shareable portions and kitschy communal dining, a format that thrived in the 1990s and early 2000s and has not recovered from a decade of declining relevance. Rising food and labor costs, combined with fewer customers, were confirmed in court filings. 14. Hooters. Hooters filed for Chapter 11, bankruptcy in April 2024, and closed approximately 44 locations in the process. The chain's business model combined a specific entertainment concept with casual dining, and both components of that model have struggled with changing consumer preferences and rising labor costs that make the staffing model more expensive to sustain. The brand is restructuring, but at significantly reduced scale. 13. On the Border. On the Border. Mexican Grill and Cantina filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on March 4, 2025, according to bankruptcy court records. The chain had closed or vacated 40 of its approximately 120 locations before the March 2025 filing. The Mexican casual dining category has faced particular pressure from fast casual competitors offering comparable quality at meaningfully lower price points. 12. Red Robin. Red Robin Gourmet. Burgers filed for Chapter 11. Bankruptcy protection in early 2025. The chain built its brand around premium sit-down burgers and bottomless fries at prices positioned above fast food but below full-service dining. A middle tier that has proven particularly vulnerable as consumers either trade down to fast food or trade up to genuine premium dining, rather than pay casual dining prices for an experience that no longer feels special. 11. Long John Silver's. Long John Silver's closed 150 locations over 3 years and operates fewer than 500 remaining U.S. locations. The chain attempted a rebrand in 2025, adding chicken to its logo and menu in hopes of attracting customers who were not seeking fast food seafood as their primary occasion. Adding chicken to a seafood chain's identity is the clearest possible signal that the original concept no longer sustains the business. 10. Applebee's. Applebee's announced plans to close 35 or more locations in 2024, and parent company Dine Brands has reported ongoing same-store sales pressure. The Applebee's brand represents the median point of American casual dining, and it is that exact median position that has become the most commercially vulnerable location in the restaurant industry as consumers increasingly skip the middle in favor of either convenience or experience. 9. Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse is owned by Bloomin' Brands, which announced the closure of more than 40 locations in 2024 and continues to operate fewer than 670 U.S. restaurants, down from a peak of over 750. The parent company specifically stated that the closures were driven by lease expirations at underperforming locations, which is the standard formulation for a brand declining to renew its real estate because the economics no longer justify the commitment. 8. TGI Fridays. TGI Fridays reached its peak with roughly 600 U.S. locations in 2008. It filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in November 2024. By the end of 2025, it operated 79 domestic locations, a reduction of more than 86% from its peak over 17 years. The chain had 39 corporate-owned locations at the time of the filing, and currently looks to rebuild through franchising. The brand that defined American casual dining for a generation now operates at the scale of a regional chain. 7. Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel CEO Julie Masino stated publicly in 2024 that the chain had lost its relevance in the modern market. That admission, reported by Daily Meal, came alongside disappointing sales figures and a menu price increase. The chain's prices had already risen 35% since 2020 per Finance Buzz research. When a company's own chief executive uses the word relevance to describe what the brand has lost, the market typically responds by confirming the diagnosis. 6. IHOP. IHOP raised its menu prices by 82% between 2020 and 2025, according to Finance Buzz analysis, the largest price increase of any major restaurant chain in the United States over that period, nearly 4 times the national inflation rate. The 2x2x2 combo that cost $5.49 in 2020 reached $12.59. An IHOP franchisee in Pennsylvania filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in March 2025. The chain's same-store sales declined 1.5% year over year in the third quarter of 2025. 5. Denny's. Denny's closed 88 locations in 2024 and announced plans to close approximately 150 more by the end of 2025, representing about 10% of its total footprint per CNBC reporting. The chain added a surcharge to egg dishes in early 2025. In November 2025, Denny's was acquired by a private equity group for approximately $620 million, taking the company private. A franchisee also filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in late 2023. 4. Wendy's. Wendy's announced the closure of hundreds of locations through 2026, with 140 closures already confirmed, in an attempt to address declining U.S. sales and net income. The chain's CEO cited underperforming locations as a brand quality issue. Wendy's is also the chain whose 2022 E. coli outbreak from romaine lettuce sickened more than 100 people, hospitalized 38, and caused 8 cases of kidney failure per CDC records. Both the food safety record and the financial record are running simultaneously in the wrong direction. 3. Red Lobster. Red Lobster filed for Chapter 11. Bankruptcy in May 2024, with more than $1 billion in debt and fewer than $30 million in cash. The chain had closed approximately 130 locations, including its flagship Times Square restaurant, by September 2024. The chain's all-you-can-eat endless shrimp promotion was cited in bankruptcy court filings as contributing $11 million to a $76 million net loss in 2023. As of 2026, the company's own CEO has told the Wall Street Journal that additional closures may still be necessary. 2. Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut lost its title as the world's largest pizza chain by revenue to Domino's in 2017 and has been in structural decline since. In July 2024, EYM Pizza, one of the chain's largest U.S. franchisees, operating approximately 140 locations across 5 states, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in federal court. The filing specifically cited Pizza Hut's inability to stay competitive and its outdated practices as factors in the collapse. Court documents showed EYM's Pizza Hut locations failing quality assessments at higher rates than comparable franchisees. 1. Starbucks. Starbucks reported 6 consecutive quarters of declining same-store sales through early 2025. In its first quarter of fiscal year 2025, U.S. comparable sales dropped 4% year over year. Comparable transactions fell 8%, and U.S. operating income declined 22% per The Street. The company was on its 4th CEO in 3 years before bringing in Brian Niccol from Chipotle in late 2024. Niccol launched a $1 billion restructuring plan, cut 30% of the menu, and began closing underperforming locations. The brand has shown early recovery signs in mid-2026, but the scale of the prior damage, 6 consecutive quarters of decline at the world's largest coffee chain, represents the most significant financial deterioration of any single consumer brand in the entire dataset. Holding strong, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A generates more revenue per location than any other fast food chain in the United States, per Restaurant Business Online's annual chain performance rankings. The chain is closed on Sundays, runs a simple, focused menu, maintains one of the highest customer satisfaction scores in the category, and has never filed for bankruptcy or announced a major round of location closures. Chick-fil-A is the anti-example that makes everything above it more understandable. Holding strong, Texas Roadhouse. Texas Roadhouse is the only major sit-down chain that has consistently grown same-store sales through the same period that has damaged Outback, Applebee's, and TGI Fridays. The chain controls food costs through direct rancher relationships, has maintained a value positioning that casual dining competitors abandon, and generates customer satisfaction rankings that regularly place it above Olive Garden, Chili's, and every chain on the struggling list. Growing while your category collapses is structural advantage, not luck. Texas Roadhouse has maintained it for 5 consecutive years. Holding strong, Cava. Cava is the fastest growing restaurant chain in the United States by location count, with positive same-store sales, consistent profitability since its 2023 IPO, and a consumer value proposition that is the direct opposite of everything the struggling chains above represent. Fast, fresh, customizable, and perceived as genuinely healthy by its core customer base. The Mediterranean fast casual format that Cava has built is the category that casual dining chains failed to evolve toward before their customer base evolved away from them. Drop a comment and tell us which chain on this list surprised you most. And subscribe, because we are tracking every major brand in every category to give you the verified picture before you spend your money on it.